Just keep praying for him. They might be, he'll rescue him. When he gets them where he wants them, don't worry, they're going to remember that they got rescued. But Lot got rescued because of Abraham, not because of his salvation. But nothing he did. He was devastated. Disillusionment is such a painful experience for many of us, we are tempted to withdraw, to pledge that we will never dream again. Never again. We had dreams. Some of our visions that we think are visions are really dreams. We dream to be great. We dream of being a missionary to Africa. We dream of doing that, and it never surfaces. And we get upset because God hasn't realized our dreams, because it wasn't really a vision, it was a dream. Visions happen, by the way, when you're awake. Dreams happen when you sleep. Some of us wake up and just realize I'm going to be a T.D. Jakes. Who told you that? I saw it in a dream. Uh-oh, you got a problem already. Well, the point is that what God does with one, he doesn't do it for another. And never get to see the problem in developing ministry is that many of us try to duplicate or try to imitate other ministers instead of trying to find out what God has for you. Because we get jealous of somebody else's success. And so our dreams, and once our dreams are deflated, and see, what Small Business Administration says that most small businesses fail in the first 10 years. 10 years? Some of us don't even want to last a year. And so we have problems because we have dreams that never become realized because we were disillusioned. You are not the one. Sometimes God is planning for you to be a John and not a Jesus. John said, I am not the one. But there's one coming behind me whose shoes I'm not. No, I'm the one. No, I can wear them shoes. They fit my feet fine. You really want to be the one? You really want to go through the fire? You really want to get bankrupt? You really want to go through all the pain? You really want to go through all of the divorces, all of the devastation, all of the shipwrecks? You really want that? But look at where you are now. I'm not talking about where I am now. I'm talking about what I've been through, brother. Because Paul said, forgetting the things behind me, I press. And sometimes it takes what you've been through to make you who you are. And people spend too much time trying to worry about where you've been. It's not where I've been, it's where I'm going. Who I am is a result of where I've been anyway. Because I've learned how to trust in Jesus. Through it all. Remember that song Andre Crouch read? Man, that thing took me through one time when I was in a state of lost passion when that song came out. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon your word. Man, I started digging back in my word. I learned to trust in Jesus. I learned to trust in God. I know what they say, but God said. You got to learn how to depend on this in spite of what they say. Because they say the mysterious they that you'll never be nothing. They say you never conquered. Now look at who you are. Look at where you've been. Look at what you're doing. Well, let me tell you about a bastard child in Nazareth, a town that they said nothing good was going to come out of. A town that everybody there was backwards and upset. A little old Jewish boy came out that town. Walked into the big metropolitan Jerusalem, upset everybody, died on the cross. 3 days later, got up. He's about 30 years old, got nail plates in his hand, nail prints in his feet, sitting on a throne waiting for the time that he'll get up and come back to this earth. But he started off as a bastard child in a backwoods village, born in a stable, not a palace. Yet he is the happiest man in the universe. You know, I started to quote it, but look at it. Hebrews 1 and 9. Hebrews 1 and 9. Hebrews 1 and 9. Let me show you something. My wife tells me I need to slow up when I do scriptures, so I'm trying to slow up a little bit. She's trying to gauge me a little bit. Baby, let us turn to it. That's okay. All right. Let's get you into it. It flashes so quick in my mind. But let me start at verse 8. And let me show you something. Verse 8, let me start verse 8 and then go to verse 9. But about the Son, he says, he's talking about Jesus. I'm reading out the NIV, by the way. Your throne, O God, will last forever and ever, and righteousness will be the scepter of your kingdom. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has set you above your companions and have anointed you with the oil of joy. In the King James, it says the oil of laughter. So he is walking around glory with all the rejection that he had on earth, the happiest man in the kingdom. Because I may not have been successful on the earth, but I'm pleasing God. And you got to have your private moment with God and just laugh at all the rejection, all of the derogation, all of the disappointments, everything around you. You got to learn to get in there and take the word and get happy about who God made you. Am I making sense? So don't get this disillusion about what you see on the outside. What if Jesus had got disillusioned? At the end of the day with Jesus, all his disciples had ran from him. Nothing but one disciple at the foot of the cross with his mother and two other women. Out of all the people, wherever the crowds now when I'm suffering, where are folks when you need them? As long as you got something to give them, they're right there. But when you need to be strengthened, where are they? My question all the time, God told me one day, who are those mysterious they? Because folks tell you that all the time. They say you can't do that. They say you that. So who are these mysterious they? I'm like David. Where are you uncircumcised Philistine? You ain't even got a contract. And you trying to tell me what's going on. I got a contract. God said he'll never leave me. He said he'll never forsake me. And you trying to mess with me? You ain't even got a contract. He told me, greater is he that's in me than he's in the world. You ain't got a contract. Don't you dare tell me what I can't be and where I can't go because of my past. He erased my past and gave me a future. You ever run into folks that try to remind you who you used to be? Well, I know you. I remember you. You may very well have, yeah. I told a guy once that tried to tell me that once. I said, I know him too. I used to know him too. Yeah. Well, brother, I'm talking about you. I said, I heard you talking about him. They ain't who I am. I used to know him too. I agree with you. He was all you said he was. That was before my transformation. And so you ain't got to argue with folks of who you were. I'm all that and more. I'm a few other things you never knew about. But all was before my pre-transformation. Let me introduce you to the new me. Because anybody's in Christ is a new creature. Oh, let me finish up here. Y'all sit down. Y'all sit down. Now, this is a real big one, the defeated condition. Defeated condition is there's a weariness that comes from total personal defeat. This is the story of Peter in Luke 22:33 when he told the Lord, you know, you get all that vigor, Pastor, I'll never leave you. I'll be to every service. Every time you look around, you're going to see my face if you don't see nobody else. Luke records the crazy devastation of hearing the clock crow 3 times. Who don't know the taste of failure? Of assuming that just because God has selected you, victory has got to be on every turn. And that if I didn't get victory, God must not really be with me. That's why when the Lord told the women at the tomb in John 20, go tell my disciples and Peter, meet me in Galilee. Because see, Peter already felt defeated. He left there defeated at the courtroom because he was defeated. He dejected. He didn't live up to what he said. But the Lord said, I'm going to restore you. You know, we get all infused and we make things greater than what it should be, and we get defeated because we had some faith.